like he's just very versatile is my point. And so you can play him at so many different roles. Like I was watching the end of the game and like he played so many different roles for the Raptors. Like there was plays where he was starting.
He's supposed to be so special. It's not the specialness of Scottie Barnes was never advertised as, oh, he's going to be a 30 field goal attempt a game guy and get you 40 like taking Kobe shots. No, it was like this guy is an impossible, like the best version of Scottie's an impossible matchup because he can do so many things. And yeah, you put a center on him and he beats him off the dribble. You put RJ on him and he goes into bully ball and kicks out.
Exactly.
Like he can work DHO, he can screen. And like I think a lot of this too, like we talk a lot about Scottie's usage changing because his role in the offense has shifted. He deserves a world of credit too for being really, really decisive in those changes. So I pulled some numbers.
Okay.
So before December 21st and after December 21st. Since that cutoff date, he has been getting about 7 more front court touches per game.
Okay.
But his overall touch time and his dribbles per touch, so every time he gets the ball, are way down.
Okay.
So he is getting the ball more, but he's making quicker decisions. 2 dribbles, pass. 2 dribbles, handoff, instead of 3-4 dribbles. And we're talking, you know, even in a face-up situation, we're talking 3 seconds handling the ball instead of 4 seconds handling the ball. So I think that touches going up and overall possession and dribbles going down is a good sign of like, yeah, they're giving him more in part because you want to give him more, but in part because he's making such good, quick decisions and not letting the defense recover and stuff like that. And yeah, like long term, you want him to eventually like face up the floor from the top and initiate one-on-one. Like you want to let him have some of those and see him grow in that. But that's not like those aren't the situations where Scottie's going to best be able to leverage his passing, at least not until the Raptors have a more fruitful off-ball dynamic. They don't have that right now. When Scottie's passing really opens up is when he's either someone else creates an advantage and he gets the ball and he's just picking out from the chaos, or he does the bully ball stuff because that's he has a better path to creating that initial advantage using his size and strength right now than he does just like blowing past a similar sized defender. So I think he gets a ton of credit too for just, you know, the decisiveness he's played with in that role. And I'm sure it's been a little awkward to transition that role, but he's been awesome in it.
No, I think every interview that you've heard him speak about this new role, about the position change, he's been very overwhelmingly positive about it. He's spoken about sort of different ways that he can attack it. And I think that, look, first off, it's really good coaching from the coaching staff to invent sort of new roles for Scottie to make him successful. I don't think anyone's complained about any sort of Scottie performance in the last like 3-4 weeks, which has been really strong. Obviously,
also, he like borderline saved the game with an offensive rebound yesterday.
Oh, not just borderline. He fully saved the game. Right?
Like
and then he ran the show in overtime too.
Yeah.
So.
And I know what the thing, by the way, I got asked about this a couple times, the quick pull-up 3 in that situation. I think the idea was like in a situation like that where you say, I forget the exact time, but say you have 18 seconds.
Yeah.
The idea is get the shot off by 12 so that if you miss, you can get an offensive rebound or play the foul game. But once the clock passes a certain point, say 12 seconds, then you're holding for last shot.
So you're talking about with the Raptors down, I think
they were down
1 or 2,
whatever it was.
Regulation,
the Fred 3.
Yeah.
That Scottie got the offensive rebound.
That was a very well run play. The Raptors got Fred an open look off of 2 screens.
I got a lot of questions about how early it was though in the clock.
Of course you want to shoot that early because you're only down 1. Even if you play the intentional foul in game, you had the time.
Right.
And you get the offensive rebound.
Yeah. So that's all I wanted to clarify because I did get asked about it a couple times.
That's fair. But yeah, I think overall with Scottie, like I think the coaching staff has put him in a position to highlight his strengths right now. His strength isn't to beat a guy off the perimeter at the moment. The strength is to impact the paint. And it's sort of just like, how do you get him to impact the paint? Sometimes right now you just station him in either as a screener or you have him like set up in the post or at the elbow, you catch the ball in a horns action, and then you're able to then get him to touch the paint. Once he touches the paint, he's super effective, both as a finisher, both as a passer. We've seen all that stuff. I love the way he attacked the offensive glass yesterday too. And I think just overall, like this is stuff that's going to probably happen year after year with Scottie because he's so versatile. He's not like a guy like Gary Trent Jr. where you know exactly what he is and you can know exactly how to make a shooter like that successful. You put him near the ball, you put him in the corner, you know, you driving kick, he's the option there. Like that stuff is easy to figure out, I think, as a player. But I think with Scottie, because he can play so many different roles, we're probably going to see like year after year this sort of cycle happen to a lesser degree as he sort of matures and continues to add to his skill set. But
and depending on what the roster is around him, right? Like one of the great things about Kyle Lowry over the years was his ability to shift his role based on who was around him on the
Right,
team and
right.
what those guys needed to succeed. And that's part of being a really dynamic player like Scottie is, and a smart player like Scottie is yeah, there might be, you know, the next guy who comes in might be someone who needs the ball a little bit more to be successful.